Okay, it is 9 o'clock and we will get started. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for a presentation of University of Copenhagen. My name is Kitty Kristen, and I'm here with Lauren Nestor and um, Lindsay Madison. We work in the UCEAP system-wide office, assisting students to study abroad in Denmark. And we are here with Simone Huskov. She is our program coordinator in Copenhagen, and she is going to tell you about our exchange program with the University of Copenhagen. Welcome, Simone.
Hi, everyone. I'm Simone, and I am speaking to you from Copenhagen at the moment. So I want to talk to you about the university and the city of Copenhagen. So I'm going to share my slides with you. So this is like a brief overview of the city. So just so you have an idea of what it looks like. You can see the different neighborhoods and the city center, and the university is actually based all around these different neighborhoods. So when you're studying in this city, then you're going to have a good idea of all the different neighborhoods and the parts around it. So all of these are actually smaller city centers combined. So it's a small city. It's a quite small city, but it still has a big city vibe because you can go from neighborhood to neighborhood and see different things. As you can see here, there's quite a lot of water, and water plays a big part in the city of Copenhagen, basically because it was used for harbors, which is a really important part of how the city is built. But now all the different canals and harbors are used as places where you can go swim. The water is completely clean, and it kind of combines the whole city. So this is a big thing that you'll explore when you are in Copenhagen. Another big thing is the architecture. So it's a really old city. So there's so much really old architecture combined with new and modern architecture. And this is like the very specific feeling you're getting when you're walking around Copenhagen, is this combination of different architectures. So I want to show you a very brief video to just put together of different architectural points of Copenhagen that you should see. So I'm going to start the video. So that was, I'm just gonna move forward. That was just to let you see, because it's better for you to see it than for me to try to tell you what the different architecture in Copenhagen is about. I want to talk about like what you can do outside of Copenhagen. So these are just like examples of day trips that you can take. We have different areas where people go in their summer and vacation houses where you can go to the beach really easy. We have Møns Klint, which is the beautiful ocean picture that you see. You can take a day trip to Malmö, which is just across the water. It's in Sweden, and it's a small, very old, very charming Swedish city. And then we have the Louisiana Museum of Modern Art. These are some of the things that students usually are really fond of visiting when they're in Copenhagen, because it's easy to get to and from. And just like on a final note is that bikes are a big thing in Copenhagen. You will probably end up using a bike at some point if you go to Copenhagen. And the public transportation is quite good, which is why it's possible to reach all of these different things. So I'm moving on to talk about the university. So the University of Copenhagen is from 1479, so it's quite old. At that point, it was only a small building in the city center, and now you can see that it is divided around in 4 campuses. And as I showed you on the previous map, you can see that it has a city center campus and then North Campus, South Campus, and Frederiksberg campus. So as a student, you actually get to use the whole city as your big campus. A lot of international students really enjoy this because they get to see more than just the campus area, because they have to go from place to place. There are 6 faculties divided around these different campuses. So the university in itself has 40,000 students approximately, and 9,000 employees. And here are some of the strength, the very specific strength of the university. Something that is one of the big focus areas for the university is the study of sustainability and diversity and equality. So these fields are not only just matter of what faculty you're on, but the different faculties that work together in these different fields. So there are a lot of different opportunities and a lot of different research opportunities at the university as well. So what is specific for international students at University of Copenhagen is that there is a Danish language course. For UC-EAP students going to University of Copenhagen, it is mandatory to take the pre-semester Danish language course, and it usually gives the students a really good idea of what you can do with the Danish language, just like a minimum of knowledge. You actually get really, really far when you have your everyday life in Denmark. But you can also add the semester Danish language course, so you actually get a little bit more knowledge about the Danish language. One of the really great things about this course is because you have it before the semester begins and all international students can take this course, you actually get a chance to meet a lot of different students before the semester begins. So this is usually where people say that they meet the people that they end up seeing all through the semester. So this is actually a quite successful course. And then another part is that there's the Danish culture course. It has a combination of lectures and excursions all around Copenhagen, but also day trips outside of Copenhagen. And you can choose different courses. You have the general ones, but you can also dive into special topics about philosophy or Nordic mythology and Danish cinema and architecture. And these courses are open to all international students. And you can actually study these courses and be accepted in these courses without pre-academic background in these fields. So these are really popular as well. And then, of course, when you're here as a UC-EAP student, you have specific events for you. There is always a welcome dinner, which is usually really, really nice to say welcome to all of the new students. There's an orientation where you will know everything that you need to know about the academics and exams and courses, and we're going to go through all of it. There's smaller study list meetings if you have questions. There's always a Thanksgiving dinner or a spring dinner, depending on when you arrive. There are usually smaller trips, like a movie trip, and we go and do something together. And then if you're in Copenhagen around Christmas time, there's always the Danish very important thing to know is hygge. And that's actually just like having a nice time together. And then there will always be a farewell event. So you will have an opportunity to see your fellow UC-EAP students before you leave. So this is just for you to see that there's more. When you have all the information from your UC-EAP sites, then it's really important that you can use the information of the UCPH sites. So there's really good information about how to choose courses, housing and academics and living in Copenhagen and all of these things. But this would be information that you would be given again. So no worries if you don't get it all right now. But this is just to tell you that it's there and it's available for you. So the students coming to Copenhagen. So in general, the students going to the university, the state Danish students, they're usually quite independent. And there's a lot of self-studying at the university, which means that besides having lectures, there's a lot of work outside the university. which is why people usually form study groups and meet up in these study groups outside of their work hours, the lectures at the campus. So it's really important to figure out if that is something that you want, and then also because you're gonna live in the city, you're not gonna live in the campus area, so you're gonna wanna explore and live in a city. The city is not that big that you can, that you won't find your way, but still big enough that you can explore and see new things and meet new people. It's a very international city. It's really well connected to the rest of Europe. So there's a lot of European, international people in general, and that's the same for the university. So you would have to enjoy a mix of independent studying and then group work, because that is always one of my biggest recommendations, is that the students, they work in groups, because you're gonna need that when you're studying at this university. So usually I have a chat with students at the farewell event, and what they tell me is that they usually feel a lot more independent after a semester at UCPH. It kind of like giving them that independent feeling that they were looking for when they were going abroad. So it's besides wanting to do this independent studying, there's always good research opportunities as well. You can reach out to your different professors and ask about research opportunities. So, and you can see here, I have the numbers. They're counting the numbers each semester. A good mix of bachelor's degree student and master degree students. Yeah, so you would be upper level undergraduate student. That would be the courses that you would be taking. So I wanna give the scene to Kitty, talking about eligibility requirements. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Simone. Really appreciate that glimpse of Copenhagen and Denmark. And it looks very enticing. So I think it's a good opportunity to see the city. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the eligibility requirements for our University of Copenhagen program. And this is a screenshot from our website, actually, so you can see this there as well. The minimum GPA for this program is a 2.85. So you do need to have that to apply and attend this program. The program runs for the fall semester, the spring semester, or you can go for the whole year. And classes are taught in English. If you do speak Danish, you would be able to study in Danish as well. And you do need to be a junior, a senior, or a graduate student when you plan to study abroad. So as it notes here, there's no language prerequisite, but you will take at least the pre-semester Danish language course just to introduce you and so you can kind of get used to the language and the culture. So could we go to the next screen, Simone? Simone, okay, great, thanks. So to wrap this up, I'm going to talk about why you might choose UCEAP and highlight the benefits. UCEAP is the official study abroad provider for the entire UC system. Our programs are designed specifically for UC students. With programs in over 40 countries, UCEAP has the perfect study abroad program to suit your needs. While on UCEAP, you remain enrolled in your UC campus, which means you do not need to take a leave of absence during your study abroad program, and your UC financial aid goes with you. As a UCEAP student, you are guaranteed that all the courses you take abroad will receive UC credit. And then our next slide. So please visit the UCEAP website for more information, and that is uceap.universityofcalifornia.edu. And also visit your campus study abroad office for information on application steps and guidelines. Each campus has their different deadlines and steps, which we are going to cover in the next slide. And then when you are ready to start your application, if you haven't done so already, you simply select the Apply Now button on our website. And you will need to make sure that you have a valid passport. Due to COVID-19, the passport processing has been delayed somewhat these last few months. So if you don't have one at this time, please start that process immediately. So we'll go to our final slide. And here are the various campus deadlines and the email addresses for actually it's the website addresses and email for contacting your study abroad office. And you can contact them for more information. We'll leave this up during the Q&A, which we are going to start now. So Lindsay is going to read out any questions that come through. So please do let us know if you have questions, and we're all here to answer them for you. We have any questions? I see somebody raised their hand. Are you able to type in your question